The Young and the Restless, The Secrets Behind the Battle with Ian Ward. Victor Newman, a powerful businessman and ambitious man, is facing one of the biggest challenges of his life, Ian Ward. This scheming and dangerous man is not only a thorn in Victor's side, but also a threat to the safety of his loved ones and his family. When Sharon Newman suddenly disappears and is later found exhausted at the bottom of a river, all suspicion falls on Ian. Victor does not sit idly by when his loved ones are threatened. He quickly assigns an important task to his loyal lawyer Michael Baldwin. Michael, who has proven his intelligence and determination in difficult situations, now faces a whole new challenge: gathering intelligence on Ian Ward. Ian is a cunning man who is always one step ahead of everyone. However, Michael is not deterred. He begins his investigation by approaching Ian's old connections, studying financial traces, and even infiltrating dangerous areas where Ian used to operate. Pieces of the puzzle gradually come together, but will the information Michael finds enough to help Victor take down Ian? Or will Ian once again escape capture? While Victor and Michael focus on exposing Ian, Nick Newman turns his attention to another more urgent mission: finding Sharon Newman. Despite being divorced, Nick has always had special feelings for Sharon. When she is found at the bottom of the river, Nick cannot hide his anxiety. It seems that Sharon has gone through terrible things, but she cannot explain clearly what happened. All of this only makes Nick more determined to find the truth. Nick decides not to rely solely on the police but to investigate himself. He searches for the smallest clues, from strange phone calls to places Sharon used to go before she disappeared. But as Nick digs deeper, he finds himself in a fog where every answer leads to more questions. Sharon Newman, dangerous encounter. As Nick tries to find Sharon, things get worse for her. After being rescued from the river, Sharon quickly realizes that she is more than just a victim of an accident. A dangerous force, which she believes is connected to Ian Ward, is after her. But the most surprising thing is that Jordan, who was supposed to have the chance to end her life, doesn't. Why did he stop? Who is Jordan really, and what role does he play in Ian's plan? Perhaps the answer lies in their past, a complicated relationship that Sharon has never mentioned. Sharon is torn between fear and hope. In her weakest moments, all she can do is hope that Nick, who has always been her rock, will find her before it's too late. Is time on their side? The events that unfold send everyone in the Newman family spiraling into a spiral of tension. Victor continues to focus on gathering evidence against Ian, while Michael continues to investigate. However, what they discover may shock everyone. Ian seems to be targeting more than just Sharon or the Newman family. He is plotting a much larger plan that could change the course of Genoa City forever. Sharon is still fighting to survive. Will Nick find her in time? Or will his efforts be a broken dream? Why didn't Jordan kill her, and who will be the last one to stand up and save Sharon from the abyss of despair? The story of Sharon, Nick, Victor and Ian is still unfolding. The secrets gradually revealed, the complex relationships and the struggle between good and evil make viewers unable to take their eyes off. Genoa City, the city of love, betrayal and dark conspiracies, once again becomes the stage for uncompromising battles. Can the light of justice shine on the dark secrets? Only time will tell. Victor Newman, a man of power and determination, finds that he cannot sit idly by any longer when the ghost of his arch-nemesis Ian Ward returns, causing untold damage. Sharon Newman, who was once an important part of the Newman family's life, is found in a critical condition at the bottom of a river. Though rescued, Sharon cannot remember what happened, but all the signs point to one man, Ian Ward. Michael Baldwin, a dangerous mission. It doesn't take Victor long to come up with a plan. He assigns Michael Baldwin, a loyal lawyer and a skilled undercover operative, to gather intelligence on Ian. Although Michael has faced difficult missions before, he knows that this time is different. Ian Ward is not only a schemer, but also someone who will not hesitate to use violence to protect his secrets. Michael, determined, begins to approach trusted sources, from underground connections to secret documents related to Ian. However, he cannot help but feel the danger growing. Every step in the investigation brings him closer to the truth, but also puts him in Ian's crosshairs. If Ian discovers this plan, Michael's life will be in danger. Michael's survival now depends on his caution and his ability to handle stressful situations. Nick Newman, The Desperate Search. While Victor is busy with his plan to bring Ian down, Nick Newman is focused on a more personal goal: finding the truth about Sharon's disappearance. Although they have broken up, Sharon is still an irreplaceable part of Nick's life. He cannot sit still knowing that she has suffered a terrible tragedy. Sharon, although rescued, is still in a state of panic and has temporary amnesia. Nick senses something is very wrong, but he can't put his finger on it. With a burst of emotion and determination, Nick decides to take matters into his own hands. He begins to follow the smallest clues, from the strange calls Sharon received before she disappeared, to the people she had been in contact with. However, things are not easy. As Nick digs deeper, he realizes that he is dealing with a secret that is darker than he ever imagined. The connections lead him to a dangerous web, where Ian Ward is pulling the strings. Does Nick have the strength and quickness to find the truth and save Sharon before it's too late? Sharon Newman, the battle for survival. As for Sharon, what she has been through is beyond words. Being found at the bottom of the river was more than a coincidence. Before she went missing, she remembers being followed, kidnapped, and held in the dark. But the biggest question remains: why didn't Jordan, one of Ian's henchmen, kill her when he had the chance? Jordan is a mysterious figure. Although he works under Ian, he seems to have his own motives. Has he relented to Sharon's pleas, or is he pursuing another secret agenda, one that is beyond Ian's control? Jordan may have let Sharon live, but that doesn't mean she is out of danger. She is caught in a web of danger, where any wrong move could mean her death. Victor and Michael, turning the tables. As Michael's investigation gets closer, he discovers that Ian Ward was not only the mastermind behind Sharon's kidnapping, but was also plotting a much bigger plan that could threaten Genoa City. However, as Michael gathers the most important evidence, he is exposed. Ian, realizing that someone is watching him, immediately launches a revenge attack. Michael is cornered, hunted by Ian's loyal henchmen. Victor, upon receiving the news, immediately sets into motion a plan to save Michael. But time is not on their side. If Michael is captured, not only will his life be in danger, but all efforts to bring down Ian will be lost. It is a merciless battle between Victor and Ian, where loyalty, quick wits, and determination will determine who wins. While Victor and Michael fight Ian from the outside, Nick continues his search to save Sharon. He discovers where Sharon was once held and confronts Ian's henchmen. His heart sinks as he learns that Sharon is still in danger. Her life depends on whether he can find her in time. Next, Nate Hastings walked into the conference room with a strange and confused feeling. This was not just a regular meeting, but his first chance to meet Damien, his half-brother whom he had never had the chance to interact with before. Damien, with a strong demeanor and sharp eyes, stood by the large window overlooking the view of Genoa City, looking as if he was pondering something deeply. The meeting did not go as expected. When Nate gently opened his mouth, trying to create a friendly atmosphere, Damien quickly stood up, his eyes suspiciously looking straight at Nate. "Why did you call this meeting, Nate? What do you want from me?" Damien asked, his tone clearly unpleasant. The tension in the air was obvious, and Nate understood that this would not be an easy conversation. Nate, as part of Winters, had proactively approached Damien with the goal of recruiting him into the company. But the real purpose was more than just work, it was also Nate's personal attempt to build a brotherly bond he never had. Damien, however, was not so easily convinced. "Winters wants me to work for them? Based on what? What do you know about my experience, or is this just some kind of ploy?" Damien pressed, his cold gaze making Nate pause for a moment. Truth or make-believe? Nate knew this was the moment. He had to choose between telling the truth, that he wanted to connect with Damien not just for work but for a brotherhood, or continuing the fake story of recruiting talent. After a moment of silence, Nate decided to stand his ground. He began to tell Damien what Winters could offer him: career growth opportunities, a creative work environment, and the potential to do great things. But deep down, Nate knew he couldn't open up completely. A surprise for Amy Lewis. The tense meeting was further complicated when Amy Lewis, Nate's partner at Winters, suddenly appeared with an important announcement. Nate, who had prepared special news for Amy, realized that this couldn't be a better time to reveal it. He turned to Damien and said, "Before we go any further, I want to make a surprise announcement. Amy, Damien is not just a potential candidate for Winters. He's my brother." Nate's words brought silence to the room. Damien, who had expected this, was still flustered by Nate's directness. Amy, on the other hand, was taken aback and didn't know what to say. Nate hoped that revealing the family relationship would help clear up any misunderstandings and create a new foundation for the conversation. The tension between truth and trust. However, Damien still wasn't entirely convinced. "What are you doing this for, Nate? To soften me up? Or is this part of Winters's plan to get me to join?" Damien asked, his voice dripping with doubt. Nate knew that building trust wouldn't happen overnight. He decided to change his strategy, opting for honesty over continuing the fake story. "Damien, I'm not here just for work," Nate admitted. "I know we don't share a childhood, we don't have any memories of each other. But I want to change that. I want us to at least try to build some kind of relationship, like real brothers." Nate's words carried a sincerity that Damien hadn't expected. Despite keeping his distance, Damien begins to see Nate in a different light, not just as a representative of Winters, but as a younger brother trying to connect with him. A new turning point for the brotherhood. The meeting doesn't end with a touching hug or an immediate agreement. But it lays the groundwork for a promising relationship. Damien doesn't immediately answer whether he'll join Winters, but he leaves a meaningful statement before leaving. "I'll think about everything you say, Nate. But if you really want to build this brotherhood, I need to see actions, not just words." Nate stands there, watching Damien leave, feeling a mixture of relief and anxiety. He knows that this is just the first step in a long journey to building the relationship he's always wanted. But at least he's laid the groundwork, and that's what matters most. Will Damien open up? The story between Nate and Damien leaves many unanswered questions. Will Damien accept Winters' invitation? Or will he decide to distance himself from his half-brother? And what will Nate do to prove that he truly came to Damien in peace, without any ulterior motives? Only time will tell. The relationship between Nate and Damien is a complex picture of trust, doubt, and hope. In the world of intrigue and calculation on the young and the restless, building a genuine brotherly relationship is never easy. Sharon, weak and frightened, fights to hold on to hope. She remembers faces, sounds, and the smallest details to free herself. But time is running out. Can Nick find her before it's too late? And if he does, can she overcome the emotional damage Ian has caused? The story between Victor, Michael, Nick, and Sharon is not only a fight against Ian Ward, but also a journey to discover the power of courage, love, and unity. Ian Ward, with his cruelty and cunning, is the embodiment of darkness, but the light of humanity always has a chance to win. Can Victor and Michael expose Ian's true colors? Can Nick save Sharon before it's too late? And what is really behind Jordan's actions? All remain open questions, and only time will tell.